Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Pub Sports Radio, Thursday, April 7th, Ian Cameron. We've got Dutch Boy Fresh. We got Billy Briz back with us once again here on the Thursday NBA Pub Hub. Wham tied up today, so not able to join us. But we're here. We're ready to break down the Thursday NBA card. We only have two shows left, two regular season editions of the Pub Hub left today and tomorrow. And then when we rejoin you next Tuesday, we'll be off Monday with no games, but we'll be back next Tuesday. It'll be the time for the play-in tournament. Looking forward to that getting underway next Tuesday. So good times. The exciting part of the NBA season is here. Once we get through these last few days of the regular season, we got 7 games tonight on this Thursday slate. We'll start with Orlando taking on Charlotte. We've got the Hornets 13.5-point home favorites, 230.5 the total in this game. I like the over. I agree with the total going up. I'd rather just look toward that rather than either side. Obviously, Charlotte should handle business here in this game, but they're coming off back-to-back blowout losses. They do take a step down in class here. We do remember they beat New York by 11 the last time they played a weaker out of the playoffs team. So I think this is a team they should win comfortably against. Do I want to lay 13.5 though? Not necessarily with the Hornets, but they are the side I would prefer. I do like the over though in this game. And even though Wendell Carter's out, Cole Anthony's out, Franz Wagner looks like he won't play either for the Magic. They've been pretty poor defensively the last few games. And the one thing about Charlotte is I still don't necessarily trust them for 48 minutes at the defensive end of the floor either, even against an Orlando team that's missing some key pieces tonight. So I'm not involved in the side, but I like the total. I think it goes over 230.5. I agree with the total climbing up in that game. Dutch, what do you think here to get us going? Magic, Hornets.
Yeah, man. Real quick, salute to the ladies, gents, and DJs for tuning in. You already know it's all love. Be sure to hit that motherfucking like button like I just hit that plane of the soap and get you right where you need to be. Yeah, man. Alfonso Scott, I see you, my guy. Kenny Rogers in the building. Killing them with the ponies, my man. Keep it up, cowboy. Keep it up. Ray Charles, my guy. I see you. Sam Comer, as always, my guy. Salute. Everybody in the chat, real quick. I know we got to, we don't have all the heads here. But be sure to smash the motherfucking like button and share the video. Let's get as much many motherfuckers in here as possible so we can all hit them over the motherfucking head. But this game, I have to second everything that my man Bobano said. I think it's really the over here. There's probably a prop game as well. Charlotte likes to get off on the offensive end and lets the other motherfucker get off on the offensive end as well. So the number has creeped up, I believe, to 230, and I believe it's it's going up for a reason. But LaMelo, Rozier, Miles, all these boys should have a game, and then you pick and choose on Orlando because obviously Charlotte's not going to play any defense. They've been giving up quite a bit of points of late. So I think it's got to be the over here or nothing. There ain't no way I'm laying 2 touchdowns with the Charlotte Hornets. I don't give a fuck who they're playing.
Yep, I agree. That's the way that it is with Charlotte. Not at this number am I interested with the Charlotte Hornets. All right, Billy Briz back with us. What do you think here, Orlando, Charlotte?
Oh, man, it wouldn't be right if we don't go straight to the player prop market in this one. You guys hinted at it. It looks like the Orlando Magic are trying to get some of their role players that haven't really, touched the rock this year that much, some more playing time. And, this one hurts a little bit more because the motherfucker is supposed to be good on the Sixers. We didn't traded fucking Tatum away for this dumb motherfucker. But you know what? We still gonna ride out the money tonight. I like this Markelle Fultz double-double tonight at plus 600. Markelle Fultz is going to be a starting point guard tonight for the Orlando Magic. Regardless of the outcome of this game, it's going to be a pace-up spot for the Orlando Magic. The Charlotte Hornets never really play defense, so you identify the guard situation here for the Orlando Magic. Are we really about to play this Markelle Fultz prop tonight? Plus 600, double-double. Man, if you guys haven't seen Markelle play before, he can get it done in all different types of categories. So it's not a prop that, I really want to hit the rebounds or the assist on just straight. It's kind of like you kind of want to buy into the variance for this one. And then the last play that I'm looking at here in this game is actually an under. It's that time of year where you start playing unders on these players and stuff like that. And PJ Washington, power forward for the Charlotte Hornets. He's splitting times right down the middle with my boy Mason Plumlee, Duke native. Duke, y'all took that L last week, but we're going to save that for another show, for the NCAA show. But, under on PJ Washington, points, rebounds, and assists, 21.5. I think that's some good value. It's at minus 125, a little bit juicy for some. But, hey, if y'all motherfuckers didn't bet the Brewers, y'all probably looking to make your money back. So make sure you tail these props today, NBA Pub Hub.
All right, we got Boston and Milwaukee next up. Bucks 8.5-point home favorites, 227.5 the total in this one. The writing might be on the wall here for the Boston Celtics. I'm seeing Tatum out. I'm seeing Marcus Smart game time decision. Horford out for the Celtics tonight. Smart actually looks like he's going to play, even though he's got a sprained right ankle. So
He gets paid too much money not to play, Babano.
yeah,
53 M's.
yeah, and obviously important at the defensive end too for the Celtics, and he looks like play, but Horford out, Tatum out, so it's kind of a mishmash lineup. Robert Williams, of course, done for the season. Boston took care of business against Chicago. They're on a back-to-back. It's a kind of a conspiracy theory here because them and Milwaukee and Philadelphia are battling for the second seed. It's kind of like a game of chicken. Who wants to play who in the first round is going to really determine how incentivized and how motivated these teams are in these last couple of games here in the regular season. But yeah, definitely people reacting to Tatum out and Horford out and pushing the line up to 8.5 here for Milwaukee. They are the rested team. They played Chicago the night before and beat the Bulls 127-106. Before that, they lost back-to-back home games to the Clippers and the Mavs. I certainly would favor Milwaukee a little bit here. More than anything, I kind of like the over in this game. 7-1 in the last 8 meetings.
Who's scoring for
Celtics
the
and
Celtics,
Bucks.
though?
Who is the question, but also who's going to stop
bet-
Giannis is the
You
question.
betting
for me.
Peyton Pritchard tonight?
Yeah, the front court for me is going to be vulnerable to Giannis. I mean, he is going to play for Milwaukee, and Robert Williams would have been a huge help in that regard, and obviously not going to have him tonight. That's a problem. I like the over still. I think more than anything, Milwaukee's team total is more what I'm looking at here. 123.5, 124 is the current number for the Bucks with 118 actually is the number with the Bucks team total. I like that. I think it can get up and over that team total, Milwaukee. I feel more comfortable doing that, taking the Bucks team total over than taking the minus 8.5, laying the points with the Bucks. We got to pause for a minute. We got Kenny Rogers and Ray Hahn with $10 and $19, $20 donos respectively. We appreciate it very much. Let's get that dono. Appreciate it, my friends. We really do. Kenny, who we saw in San Antonio, Rayhan as well.
Here if it wasn't for you guys in the chat throwing down those donos, so shouts to everybody in the chat, man.
Yep, absolutely. 100% true. Can't be here without you guys supporting, donating to the channel, helping us out. So, Kenny, thank you. Rayhan, thank you as well. Appreciate it very much. Like I said, Bucks team total over for me. Billy, we'll start with you here. Boston, Milwaukee.
Yeah, it wouldn't be right if Wham wasn't on the show and we didn't show Wham some love. So, right off the bat, I don't even like the Boston Celtics for real. They're going to really, try to – I feel like they're going to try to really bench some of their guys or limit some of their guys some minutes and stuff like that. We've seen that as a common occurrence in the NBA these last couple of days is you see the starting lineup. Everybody gets hype about the starting lineup, but in reality, they don't play more than their first quarter rotation, and then everybody's bitching about Devin Booker only playing 24 minutes and they bet their point prop. Well, it's probably going to happen with the Boston Celtics tonight. It's not an official play yet, but I do like the Milwaukee Bucks first half minus 4.5. I'm definitely going to endorse that play. I think the Bucks get up early and often here. Boston Celtics, while they have looked like the better team the last couple of weeks, they have not been good off of rest. They are just 6-7-1 ATS off of days of zero rest. And you know what? This seems like a Milwaukee first half full game spot. We just got to stay tuned for the Milwaukee injury news report because I don't know about you, Dutch. I'm still feeling it from last week when Milwaukee said, yeah, we're going to play all of our guys. Come around 2 o'clock, everybody's out the lineup. That shit ain't happening to me. So I'm going to wait just one more hour, and you might catch that on the Twitter card tonight is Milwaukee first half.
Yeah. Keep in mind, though, Celtics just recently had nobody on the floor for them against the Toronto Raptors, and they only lost by 3 in overtime.
They're the baby dinosaurs for a reason. They don't play defense.
Yeah, 115-112. They lost, and they had nobody. They had no Brown. They had no Tatum that night. Horford didn't play. Every key player was out for Boston, and they still took the Raptors to overtime that night. So that's why I'm not rushing with the 8.5 to lay it here with Milwaukee, even though it does seem on paper they have the advantage here. What do you think, Dutch? Bucks, Celtics?
Yeah, man. Big shout out to Jay Frost with the kind words. Muchly appreciated, my guy. Nasty Nate, I see you going back to the motherfucking window with the Celtics trifecta. My guy, I mean, I think he's hit that motherfucker about 10 times in a row, so I ain't mad
Yes,
at you.
there for one of them.
Yeah,
It was a great bet
big
last
shout out.
night. We
Yeah,
all liked it
absolutely.
last night.
Easy motherfucking money last night. You know, fucked around with Brooklyn and gave a little bit back. But yeah, Boston was a beautiful thing last night. Big shout out to our guy Rayhan, man, a stand-up dude. Yeah, man, this game, you know, this card is so difficult because it's like, does the Boston Celtics really give a fuck about this game? I
They
mean, since
don't, bro.
January 21st, they're the number one defense in the league, the number one offense in the league, and we're getting 7.5 fucking points with the Boston Celtics. I mean, just right off the bat, we should already be locked and loaded on that, right? But I mean, who's fucking playing right now? We got Horford, we got Tatum out. I don't really want to back a team that I don't feel like is really going to be giving their all. But there's no fucking way I could lay this many points with the Bucks. I mean, the Bucks have not done what they're supposed to do against the spread, and especially at the house against the spread against winning basketball teams. They're 1-6 ATS last 7 at the house versus a winning team. They're 16-24 overall against the number at the house all year. So they haven't been a team that you want to back, laying the number at the house. And now you're getting the Boston Celtics. Yes, they haven't been the best on a back-to-back. But I still believe they're the more hungrier, the team that brings the lunch pail every fucking game. Marcus Smart's going to be out there, so he sets the tone from the start down. You're going to have Grant Williams, you're going to have White, you're going to have Pritchard. Say what you will about the little motherfucker, but hey, he starts stroking it and he goes 110 the whole time. I just don't really have faith in the Milwaukee Bucks. But when you look at it, the first quarter with the Milwaukee Bucks, I believe there might be some value there. I'm going to stay off of it because every time I fuck with the Bucks early, they seem to fucking just don't want to do what I want them to
Dutch,
do.
let me convince you a little bit here. If you look at the Eastern Conference standings, right, for this coming playing games and stuff like that, in the East right now, if you have one of the top 2 seeds, to be honest with you, you don't want one of those top 2 seeds. You don't want to play the Hawks. You don't want to play the Nets in the first round.
No,
and right now,
Boston doesn't want to win this game.
Is Heat and the Celtics. If Boston loses this game, then they're in a 3-way tie with potentially the Sixers, the Bucks, and the Celtics. Whoever grabs that number 3 seed is going to get a very nice, calm game against the Cavaliers. The
You're absolutely
Cavaliers
right. That's
not it anymore.
Or the
man.
Bulls, right?
That's the reason why I like the Bucks tonight, man. The Celtics don't want this shit. They don't want the number 1 seed.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're trying to beg us to back the Celtics with the number creeping. I completely agree with that analogy. I do not believe Boston Celtics want to win this game because they do not want to play the motherfucking Brooklyn Nets in a 7-game series. Even though I think, or the Hawks, but either way, I still take Boston, either one of those guys. But is that someone you want to play in the first fucking round? Absolutely not. That should be a
play
semifinals.
The Cleveland fluffy Cavaliers.
Yeah,
or the Bulls. You can't beat anybody good.
Or the Bulls, because they can't beat a fucking team that is over 500, right? Yeah. So yeah, man, the writing's on the wall. You want to lay the points for Milwaukee. I would jump on them early. I do believe Milwaukee's to play here, but man, I'm just not comfortable, laying that type of number with against a team that I believe, is so in and out of really playing basketball. We've seen Milwaukee be locked in, and we've seen them not give a fuck. And realistically, Boston has been locked in since All-Star break. But yeah, it's kind of in the writing. You're right. I agree with what my man Billy said. Boston does not want to win this game.
Yeah, and I think everybody wants Cleveland and Chicago in the first round in the East, and then there are machinations that these teams
really
can try to make it
that
possible.
Chicago game, though, man. Chicago might fuck
I
around.
take Cleveland over Chicago for sure, but I mean, I don't think nobody's worried about Chicago, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I rather bet Chicago to win the East than the baby dinosaurs.
Oh, now you're slipping. Now you tripping.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a crazy.
Toronto fuck around it. Toronto will punk Chicago.
I'm not saying Toronto's winning a round, but they're putting someone through agony in the first.
Is
round.
that you speaking from a biased perspective or from?
No, that's legit. They are going to be tough.
I know you
ice
guys out there love the Canadians and stuff like that. Down here in America, though, we fading the fuck out of the Raptors, man.
Well, good luck with that. I mean, they're gonna be a tough out for anybody.
I think they're the 4th best team in the East. I think they're better than Philly. I do. So
man, give me shit Toronto.
We'll see.
They have an identity, at least the Raptors, where they've got these young kids that are playing great. Siakam's been great. Barnes has been awesome this year.
You want Doc Rivers?
Good coach who can make adjustments. So they're a tough out for anybody.
Who you want, Bobano, Nick Nurse, or Doc Rivers?
It's an easy decision, of course.
Yeah, it's not even close, right?
I mean, that's the worrisome thing if you're Sixers and you got to play the Raptors. You got to worry about Doc Rivers trying to match wits or nitwit rather with Nick Nurse for 4 out of 7 games.
Isn't that our next game, boys?
Yeah,
Philly
that's going to
versus
be tricky.
Toronto?
Yeah, let's go.
We're
Let's
leading
go.
it in,
Move
boy.
on to the next
Yeah.
one.
Leading it in.
Speaking
Big So
of
said, let go.
Sixers and Raptors, potential first-round playoff preview. It could happen. Philadelphia, Toronto, Philly 1.5-point road favorites, 220 the total in this game. Of course, the Sixers have won 3 in a row. Charlotte, Cleveland, Indiana. We'll see if they could keep it rolling here. Toronto off a home win against Atlanta. They've won 6 of their last 7 games entering this one. They've clinched an actual playoff spot. Raptors won't have to be in the play-in, so they're going to finish either 5th or 6th in the East. We'll see who they end up playing here, but this will end up a big game. I think there's a bigger game, believe it or not, for Philadelphia. They got to try to show.
Game for Philadelphia. I'll tell you right now, we don't give a fuck about this game.
They don't, but they also need some confidence against the Raptors, who've given them some fits.
Man, we don't need no confidence against no baby dinosaurs, man. We got Embiid.
Yeah, and Embiid, who seems to think he's deserving.
Hey, every time we play against y'all, your starting center ends up going out, and then Boshier ends up subbing into the game with 2 minutes in, bro. And y'all lucky it's a regular season game tonight, and y'all might catch advantage of us tonight, and I hear about the bullshit tomorrow and all that. But when it comes to this playoff series, y'all getting y'all ass smacked by the Sixers, man. Right?
We know they're talented enough to wake up.
Kawhi Leonard corner jump shot shit still fresh in our memory.
Yep.
Nah, we coming for that ass in the playoffs, no homo.
Yeah, well, certainly for Joel Embiid, it's time to, how about instead of whining about the MVP award and deserving that, how about winning some series? How about getting to an NBA Finals? Like, how about that instead? How about I hear some focus on that rather than whether you should be an MVP this year? Because it's not your God-given birthright to get that thing. And all he's talking about, he's almost sounding desperate to win the thing right now. Like, calm down, guy. Like, go out there on the court, play well, play hard, show that you have earned the MVP. Don't whine and complain about it and beg people to give you the MVP. That's not the way to go about it. Just do your thing on the court. Simple as that. And by the way, don't worry about the MVP. The Philly fans don't give 2 shits about you winning the MVP. They want you to win playoff series.
Speak
they
for
want
yourself,
you to win an NBA
Speak
Finals.
for yourself, man. I care about that MVP trophy.
Yeah,
Speak
they want
for yourself.
Win some playoff series for this franchise. We
ain't win no playoff series until Doc got to go.
Yeah, I agree with that. We will definitely agree with that.
Well, you just said it's going to bust Toronto, though. What now?
Man, they're the baby dinosaurs, man.
Come on,
dinosaurs are extinct.
Come on, man. Hey, look, Toronto has big time trouble with a lot of teams in it, but it ain't the motherfucking Sixers. All right, they're 1-4 ATS last 5 versus Toronto, 1-4 last 5 overall against these boys in Toronto as well. I mean, these motherfuckers, these Raptors pretty much own the motherfucking Sixers, to be honest with you. Now you don't have Thibault coming over due to the COVID situation, so you literally lose your only fucking defensive player on the court. I mean, who else is playing defense on that team? Your best player, Embiid, ain't playing no defense. My man, Bobano touched on it perfectly. This motherfucker talked more about the MVP than anything. It's like, who gives a fuck about the MVP, bro? Like, nobody really gives a fuck about the MVP besides your ass, I guess. So, but this game comes down to me, Bobano, is Toronto going to play their guys? They don't really give a fuck about this game, I don't believe. I do believe the Sixers are trying to fill themselves out a little bit. These teams played March 20th. Toronto won as a 7.5-point dog outright in Philly. Embiid, Harden, all these boys played. So I simply believe if Toronto's going to suit up and play, they'd have 3 games left. If they're going to suit up and play this game, I think they'll beat the Sixers. But we have to wait and see who's going to come out. People in the chat think that Sixers are a more talented team than Toronto. I don't believe so. I believe they have the best player on the court, but after that, they don't have a fucking team. They don't play defense. James Harden's not going to play defense. Maxi's going to get you points, but he doesn't fucking play defense. Playoff basketball, you have to play fucking defense, and coaching matters. So if Toronto shows up to win this game tonight or to play this game with their full roster, I believe they beat the motherfucking Sixers. But from what we've seen as a 3-point favorite to now as a 1.5-point, 2-point dog, I believe that we might be seeing some players from Toronto sitting. So if you like, if you think the Sixers are going to be locked in, ready to play tonight, then they might be to play. But I do not trust the Sixers, and I sure as hell don't trust them on the road. They're 0-4 ATS last 4 on the road. They haven't been playing good basketball personally all around. Someone in the chat did mention they played 3 or 4 games, solid basketball games since James Harden's been on the team, and that's about right. So you would think that they would want to click a little bit, but they don't want to play these Raptors. And if the Raptors show up tonight, I believe there will be some value with the Raptors.
All right.
Meaning if they show up, the
big
actual
question.
roster.
Yeah,
the
who
team.
are we going to
Who's
get?
going to be out there? From the looks of it, it looks like Van Fleet and OG are already going to be out.
Yep.
So and we can continue from there.
That's the concern. Like, are we going to see Freddie? It looks like leaning toward no. Trent leaning toward no. What about Barnes and Siakam? Do they follow suit and don't play tonight? If that is indeed the case with Trent and Freddie. So you're right. It's an exotic backwood. All things considered, this could be a really good game, but we don't know who's going to be on the floor specifically for the Raptors. So it's a tough one to get involved with. All right, Billy's back with us. Billy, what do you think, Sixers and Raptors tonight?
Man, y'all got me all fucked up here. I'm trying to switch over from my camera to the phone, but I love James Harden's rebound prop tonight. It's at 6.5. It's a prop that we used to always hit when Harden played for the Nets, but in reality, though, his rebounding numbers have taken a hit a little bit with just the different role that he's playing on the Sixers. But in reality, I do like this rebound prop tonight. It's at 6.5 at -125. And I think that correlates with the triple-double prop tonight for James Harden at +500. I'm going to be taking to both of them because if he goes over on the rebounds, I hope that 9.5 assists hit too. And the points, we're going to get 10. So triple-double for James Harden tonight, +500. It's a little bit too high for my liking.
All right, we got San Antonio, Minnesota coming up next. Minnesota 7.5-point home favorites, 240 the total here with these two teams. The Timberwolves, I don't know what happened against Washington, but it was a disaster. 132-114 loss to the Wizards in that game. As just couldn't stop the Wizards. Give up 56 of 101 from the floor to the Wizards. Horrible showing at the defensive end. San Antonio on the flip side, they've won 3 in a row. This Spurs team 7-1 ATS their last 8 games. So give the Spurs credit. These are teams that actually the Spurs have clinched a play-in spot as well. But it's really, can they finish 9th or will they slide down to 10th or so? I guess that's what we're waiting on with the Spurs. They could finish 9th still and secure a home game in the play-in tournament at AT&T Center if they end up tied with New Orleans, and they own the tiebreaker edge over the Pelicans as well. So there's something to play for here for the Spurs. Minnesota, they will not finish worse than 7th in the Western Conference. They could still have to play a play-in game at home. However, they could still also get the 6th seed and avoid the play-in tournament if they win their final 2 games and Denver drops the last 2. But that's asking a lot. So I think it's probably more likely Minnesota ends up playing well try against up the 7th seed and is in the play-in tournament hosting a game. I think it's asking a lot for them to win the last 2 and Denver to lose out as well. So, I'd expect Minnesota to really want to play better, but am I ready to lay 7.5? No, in fact, I lean to Spurs a little bit here, plus 7.5 with the way they're playing. They're covering numbers. I don't always trust the Timberwolves defense when they're laying numbers of this magnitude, 7.5, 8, especially with Pat Beverly. Game time decision, questionable with an ankle injury. Spurs, you would think at some point with no DeJounte Murray and Doug McDermott, Lonnie Walker, and Devin Vassell is also possibly, although Vassell's been upgraded to probable with the Achilles, so it looks like he's going to play for the Spurs tonight. Romeo Langford, game time decision as well, but looking like he's upgraded, probably will be in the lineup. So Spurs do have some injuries, but I certainly would lean to the Spurs still plus the points. I like the over. I know Minnesota will play a little bit better defensively tonight, but you're going to get pace. You're going to get 2 teams that aren't necessarily great at that end of the floor, the defensive end. I understand why the total's high. I think it could still end up finding its way over 240 here with the Spurs and the T-Wolves. Dutch, what do you think here? San Antonio, Minnesota.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to Renzo. I see you, my dude. Tyrone Coleman saying that Van Fleet is in. So, like I said, if the Raptors are going to play their boys, strong chance I'll be on the Raptors tonight. I need money, liking the over as well. Don't think there'll be much defense played. Big shout out to Yay Area 415 Star Child. I see you, my dude. Elliot V. Yeah, man, this game I like the Spurs here. I locked it in at 8. 8.5 was good money. Now it's down to 7.5. I think the touchdown in the hooker is still a beautiful thing, to be honest with you. The Wolves, man, you could say, okay, they had a horrible game against the Wizards, and they're going to bounce back. They are 9-2 ATS last 11 after a loss by 10 points or more. So they do bounce back after losing a game by double digits. But In this particular game, I don't think I think there's too much value simply on the Spurs. Like 8 points, 7.5 is too fucking many. San Antonio's been playing good basketball, and I know everybody's scared without Devontae Murray in the lineup. They've won 7 out of fucking 8 games. He hasn't played in any of those games, I believe. They're 7-1 straight up last 8 against the number as well, and they're 7-1 straight up versus the Western Conference opponents. So you're gonna give me 8, 7.5 fucking points. I believe they'll be in this game. Keldon Johnson's been playing out of his fucking mind. Minnesota don't play no defense. I personally think that they're soft. I love me some Anthony Towns, but a knock on him is he's soft. D'Angelo Russell, man, come on, man. I don't even think soft might be the word for that. But yeah, man, I look at it as hopefully Beverly doesn't play because obviously they even lose a little bit more on that edge in the defense as we've seen that versus the Wizards. The Wizards did whatever they want. That shit was like a fucking pickup game from a defensive perspective from Minnesota. So now you got a team feeling themselves, being well coached. We know they'll be prepared under Pop. I just think that you have to take the Spurs here with the value. They're both playing. I believe Minnesota is shooting for the 6th seed, and obviously San Antonio's trying to get in that 10th seed and have a home game, I believe. But yeah, this to me is like roulette. It hit black 7 times. I'm not the motherfucker to go up there and play red. I'm riding that motherfucking trend, and I'm doubling down on black, and I'm doubling down on the motherfucking San Antonio Spurs. I got it at 8, 7.5 is a beautiful thing.
All right, liking the Spurs as a road underdog here tonight in Mini. All right, Billy, what do you think here, Spurs Wolves?
Yeah, man, you guys touched on it a little bit earlier about DeJounte Murray being out, but in reality, man, the Spurs are 3-0 since DeJounte Murray was on the injury report with, I guess it's illness, not even rest. It's just illness from last Friday. And before the All-Star break, man, they were 1-8 without their guard. But in reality, though, Trey Jones has really been stepping up. The second-year floor general has averaged 13.7 points, 5.3 boards, and 8.7 assists per game. The last 3 games running the Spurs offense. In reality, he ranks second in the NBA right now in assist to turnover ratio. And I like his assist prop tonight over 7.5 minus 138 is going to be my top play of the day. And then we're going to play Trey Jones double tonight plus 270 right on the board. If he gets over 7.5 assists, boy better score 10 points because we're going to go straight to the bank tonight with Trey Jones double plus 270 over 7.5 assists minus 138 at FanDuel Sportsbook.
All right, good stuff there. We move on. Portland, New Orleans, the Pelicanos, 16.5. Big number has home chalk, 223 the total. I actually still like them. -9 in the first half, and not so much the full game because it's such a big number. I'll probably do a 75-25 split, to be quite honest. 75 on the first half, and then 25 on the full game. But I do like the first half, -9 for New Orleans here. There's still a lot at stake for New Orleans. They're trying to clinch at least the 9th spot in the West, which means they get to host a play-in game next week and have it on their home floor. So there's definitely incentive here for the Pelicans, who have played really good basketball lately. 4 of their last 5 they've won. They beat the Lakers, the Blazers, the Lakers again, Sacramento. Yeah, granted, they have a lot of bad teams they've beaten. They lost to the Clippers, but this is another bad team. The Portland Trailblazers, who are playing effectively with a G League roster every night with Brandon Williams and Keon Johnson and CJ Ellaby, Greg Brown, Drew Eubanks. That's as pathetic a starting 5 as there is in the NBA right now. Definitely a Portland team that should be up against it here. Pelicans here, second final home game. They only have one more home game after this. I think they show up and they have a big performance here. And by the way, the Pelicans, as favorites, they've actually been pretty good, in these instances. Like a lot of games, they've been underdogs, of course, earlier in the year, but they're 10-4-1 ATS their last 15 as a favorite, 9-3-1 ATS their last 13 games as a home favorite. So when they've been expected to win and expected to cover, as they are here, they've gotten the job done, and they've actually been cashing tickets. And you don't have to ask CJ McCollum to get up for this game. Facing his former team. He's an automatic player prop for me in this game against his old team. He's going to always be fired up to have a big game against them. So McCollum over points stands out easily as a clear choice for a player prop for me tonight in this game. So I like the McCollum over points, and I like New Orleans first half and full game, but a little bit more in the first half. New Orleans at -9 in this game. Dutch, how about you? Blazers, Pelicanos.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Ty Rowe, like a cap, points, rebounds, and assists in the Minnesota game. New name. Good to see you in here, my guy. Star Child said it best though, man. This is a motherfucking backwood, but I would lean Pelicans early. You know, they did, I believe, play like what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and the Blazers won first quarter, first half. We're winning the motherfucking basketball game, and I do believe Pelicans pulled it out by 7 points or something. But they were double digit, favored in that game as well in Portland. So I mean, come on, man. There's levels to this. I don't believe Big Val will play. Look for Jackson Hayes to have a game. You touched on CJ. But yeah, man. First half maybe. Big number though. I can't fuck with this game.
Nothing wrong with that. Billy, what do you think here? Portland, New Orleans.
Hey, the way the Portland Trail Blazers have been playing, I don't see how don't look at this game and just automatically just want to bet the under. They don't give a fuck. They're not playing like they give a fuck. And I don't want to be putting my money on a team that doesn't give a fuck, to be honest with you. I know that the Pelicans have looked a lot better of recent since they got CJ McCollum. They've won in that trade. They won 8 out of their last 12 games and clinched a play-in game spot. But there is a prop out there that I think is a little bit too high in the market today. I know CJ McCollum has cleared he's been doing pretty good with his assist prop. It's at 6.5 tonight, but I like the under 6.5 assists for CJ McCollum tonight. He's only cleared this once out of his last 10 games. He has a few games with 6 assists, but that plays to the under, man. McCollum's recorded 4 assists in the Pelicans' last matchup against the Portland Trail Blazers, and kind of like how Babano hinted at it, CJ McCollum is going to be looking to shoot tonight, not pass the rock. I like the under 6.5 assists for CJ McCollum. That's way too high for him.
It's another good way to approach it. If you think the guy's going to be shooting a lot, bet his under assists. And
that's a sharp look. I like that.
Here with CJ McCollum, you're right. He's just going to be looking to fill his stat sheet with points tonight against his old.
And you're buying into the blowout too. Yeah. But let's say if that game blows out and the Pelicans kind of want to limit some of their players, the first person they probably going to limit is CJ McCollum for as many minutes as he's been playing since he's came over.
What's the juice on that? What's the juice on that, Billy?
-124 at FanDuel Sportsbook.
I like that look.
Yeah, in theory, conceptually, it makes all the sense in the world. There's no doubt about that. Definitely, I could see it. I could see him over points, under assists, both of those coming through. As you mentioned, though, you worry about the blowout. What if he gets?
Yeah, they moved that point prop up a little bit too much on Sunday. It was at 23.5. We bet the over and the over on the 3-point prop down there in Lake Charles, but I will say they moved that bad boy up a couple of points after the Pelicanos did their thing over the weekend. So as soon as they move it up, I'm out.
Yep, definitely. All right, we got Memphis and Denver. Denver Nuggets, 4.5-point home favorites, 233 the total here in this game. As far as Denver goes, it looks like Morris, Barton, Gordon, Joker, they're all in. Jeff Green, the only one questionable. The Memphis Grizzlies just have to see who they're going to play. Memphis is locked into the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. They can't go up. They can't go down. They will be number 2 in the West. And it's just a matter of who's going to finish in that 7th spot in the Western Conference. They won't know who they'll face in the first round until the play-in tournament starts. So they could be waiting around for a while. So, I've been riding Memphis a lot. I'm certainly not laying points with Denver against Memphis. Like, Memphis is a one-way team for me right now. Bet on or pass, but how enthused are they for this game? There's really not a lot at stake for the Grizz tonight, locked into that number 2 seed. So it does concern me a little bit. Whereas Denver, they could still clinch the 6th seed with a home win, or they had a chance the other night, but they got blown out by the Spurs. They need a win in one of their last 2 games to avoid the play-in tournament. So if you're Denver, you want to come out here, take care of business, clinch that 6th seed, make sure you're not playing in the play-in tournament next week. That becomes, I think just motivation alone. There could be a lot more for Denver tonight. So it's a backwood for me. I mean, I'm not betting against Memphis catching points. They've been too good lately, even without John Morant, even without Dylan Brooks. The last couple of games, they've still been so impressed with Taylor Jenkins. Deserves some credit. This coach has done a phenomenal job this year for the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm just not going to fade Memphis catching points. I'm just not interested. All that being said, I do think there could be some motivational factors in Denver's favor. This game probably does mean more to them. They're trying to nail down the 6th seed. Memphis is already locked in to the 2 seed in the West. Dutch, what do you think here? Grizzlies, Nuggets.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to our guy Ray Charles, liking Joker over 50.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Yeah, my man Bobano touched on it. Going for the MVP race. I mean, he's going to show out. They really have nothing for him. I just think that Grizzlies, Man, do they really give a fuck about this game? Our guy Alfonso Scott saying triple revenge here. For Denver. Yeah, I guess you have to look Denver here simply because of the situation. But it's hard. It really is hard to bet against the Memphis Grizzlies and to bet on the Denver Nuggets, especially at home. They're 0-4 ATS last four as a home favorite. 1-8 overall last 9 against the number at the house. They're 1-4 ATS last 5 versus a winning team, and they've allowed 122 points per game the last 4. They can't fucking stop nobody. I mean, look what San Antonio went in there and did without their best fucking player. They're 9-point favorites, and Denver loses outright by double digits, and it wasn't close. So saying that, you would expect to get Denver's best game. They have to fucking win these basketball games, right? They don't want to be in the play-in, so they need to win this game and they need to win the next game. So I would have to look Denver here. But it's real money, man, and I just don't have confidence in going against the Memphis Grizzlies. It doesn't matter who the fuck suits up for the Grizzlies. Their mentality and motto is grind city, and that's what they fucking do. They grind. Look at it against Utah. They still found a way, So to push it at very least in a game that Utah obviously put all their effort into. So I know you're going to get the best game from Denver, but is it enough to cover against the Grizzlies? I don't know. I expect the Nuggets to win this game because they simply have to, but I will not be backing the Denver Nuggets. I just don't like what I've seen from them.
All right. So pass for Dutch here. I agree. It's a good game to pass. I think tough one to really. It probably is situational edge for Denver, but I've made too much money with Memphis to go against them, especially when they're dogs. What do you think here, Billy?
Man, I think Dutch touched on it perfectly, man. Like, everybody used to say back in the day, like, I feel like last year and stuff like that, Denver's at home, mile high. Well, look at their fucking home record this season. 14-25 ATS at home compared to Memphis, who's 7-1 last 8 ATS without John Morant. Like Dutch said, man, they grinding, man, out there in Memphis. It's grind city out there. Do I really want to take my confident money and throw it on the Grizzlies plus 166 money line? I don't know. That might not be the route I want to go with tonight. But I will say Grizzlies are pass for me. I would take the Grizzlies on the money line before I would back the home favorite here. But I will say I think the over is a look in this game. The total has finished over in each of the last 2 games played by Memphis. And Memphis is the number 2 second scoring team in the league in the NBA right now. And Denver is number 10. So both teams are playing towards a higher pace. They like to score the rock. It's the highest total on the board today at 233. It went up a couple of points since the opener at 232. So I do like the over in this game. But if you like an over in this game, I end up betting a player prop. It's just you got to take the right player prop in this one because you never know which one's going to go. It could be Desmond Bain night. It could be a Dylan Brooks night. It could be a Jaren Jackson night because everybody's going to hit the Nikola Jokic double-double, triple-double, and his assist props and all that. And shouts to the chat for the Al Horford double-double yesterday. We couldn't get the Obi Toppin one like we wanted to, but, one and done for that one. But, man, pass on this game, man. This is a backwood. Enjoy this one. Mark down, make some notes because it's probably going to be a potential playoff series.
Yeah, exactly. Very well. Could be seeing these 2 teams in the postseason. All right. Well, one team we won't be seeing in the postseason, the Los Angeles Lakers. They're taking on the Golden State Warriors. Golden State 14-point home favorites, 218.5 the total in this game. Of course, the Lakers, there's no way in hell I'm taking the Lakers. So a priorium, you know what it is. It's Golden State or nothing. You either find a way to bet Golden State or find a reason to bet Golden State or you leave the game alone as far as I'm concerned. No AD, no LeBron. As expected, neither one going to play tonight for the Lakers. Russell Westbrook out as well, so they're going to be rocking with Augustine, Monk, Bradley, Stanley
Austin
Johnson,
Reeves.
And Dwight Howard as their starting 5.
Austin Reeves, man, don't deny my man Austin Reeves. He a bucket, man. He going to go for 20 tonight. Heard it here first.
Yeah, he's the one guy that's had some heart and some guts and some character and actually shown up and tried to play hard on a lot of nights for the Lakers. So I do like that guy. He's giving you a good effort for this Lakers team, one of the few. Golden State, back-to-back wins. They beat Utah. They crushed Sacramento 109-90 in their last game. As far as Golden State goes, positioning-wise, you look at where they are in the standings. They're probably going to finish 3rd, although that's not a sure thing because, they're only 2.5 up on Utah, half a game up on Dallas. So they could slip to 4th. And there is a scenario where they actually could still slip to 5th.
Right.
So I think for Golden State, you do want to come out here, play well, put a win on the board. Curry's out for the Warriors. Otto Porter game time decision. For me, though, it's still Warriors or nothing. You either take Warriors first half, full game split, you leave the game alone. I'm probably not going to bet it, but I would consider the Warriors because I do think, hey, maintaining third is of some importance to them, maintaining this third spot here in the Western Conference. Dutch, Lakers, Warriors.
Yeah, man. A big shout out to Cheshire Cat. C. James, I see you, my dude. What we got here? We ain't got 100 motherfucking likes yet. Come on, we got over 220 motherfuckers in here and not even 100 likes. Come on, you lazy motherfuckers. Smash the like button, share the video, and let's hit these motherfuckers over the head. That's what we do, right? Yeah, man. All right. So the Lakers, huh? Hey, speaking of smash motherfuckers over the head, that's what we've been doing, fading the Lakers all motherfucking year long. They are the best thing smoking. The LA motherfucking Lakers. Yeah, man. I really like fading these motherfuckers, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. We only got a couple more games to make some money off these motherfuckers. So we better take advantage of it today. If you like them early, I'm not mad at you, but I'm going full game here because these early bets have been fucking with your boy a little bit lately. I ain't going to lie to you. And this is a big revenge spot, too, honestly, because the Lakers, if you remember, it was some fuckery on a Sunday afternoon, maybe a Saturday evening on ABC, and LeBron went off and beat him March 5th. When they won as 6-point underdogs in LA, Russ and LeBron definitely let Golden State know about it. They like to dance, show out in front of the crowd. So believe me, you're gonna get a good game here from the motherfucking Warriors tonight. They've had 3 days off. My man Ian touched on it. Dallas is right up on these motherfuckers' ass. It's only a half game. They've won 2 straight. They're gonna win these next 3 games, and they're gonna start by putting it on these motherfuckers tonight. Them Warriors, they're gonna come out to play, and they're gonna handle business from start to finish. I locked it in at 12. I don't know what it is now, but it's probably going to be 25, 30-point game. I mean, I already was booking. Why the fuck you going to put AD out there and LeBron just to get ran over? And then now Russ ain't playing, which actually probably could be beneficial to the motherfucking Lakers, if we're going to be honest. But come on, man. That roster versus Jordan Poole, who's been playing fucking lights out. Otto Porter off the motherfucking injured or off the reserve. He'll be back. You got Wiggins. You got Dre. I mean, come on, man. This game should not be fucking close. If the fuckery isn't in, this game will be by 15 at halftime. It should be by fucking 30 been fourth. I'm all over the motherfucking Warriors here. And it's really, we fade the Lakers, man. I mean, the 3-12 the last 15 versus the Western Conference. They've lost 7 fucking straight games, and they're 2-16 on the road, last 18 overall. So it's not a matter if they're going to win this game. It's how much are they going to lose by. And I'm going to bet that they lose by 15 points or more. Golden State Warriors, that's good money.
Right, Golden State, no holding back for Dutch. He says, to hell with it. They are still going to roll this Laker team tonight, even though it's a high number, like in the Lakers or the Warriors here to roll past the Lakers. It was 12. It's up to 14. So there's been a lot of – this opened 10.5, and now it's up to 14. So there's been a lot of support for the Warriors today. It ain't just you. Billy, what do you think here, Lakers-Warriors?
Coming into the season on the first couple of weeks of the year, we're talking about most improved player, 6th man of the year. And one of the biggest surprises in the preseason this year was Jordan Poole. And you know what? He didn't really live up to the expectation early on to the season. But in the second half of the season, he's really upped up his game. He averaged 18.4 points per game this season, but he's now averaging 26.4 points per game over his last 17 games. And he's gone over his point prop, 24.5. 10 out of 17 games and 8 out of his last 10 games. I do love me some Jordan Poole tonight, over 24.5 points. You can get Jordan Poole at 25 plus points or Jordan Poole 30 plus points at plus 270. Jordan Poole's the guy that you want to play tonight. No Russ in the lineup. I think they're going to just let the young kid go. It's not like the Warriors have a bunch of guards that they're about to throw in for Jordan Poole. They're already depleted without Steph Curry. They can only do but so much off the bench. What are you going to play? Damian Lee at the point guard position? It's not like they have any other point guards on this team. Jordan Poole's going to go over tonight. We're going to take him straight to the bank. Let's go.
All right, there we go. Jordan Poole, Golden State Warriors player prop for Billy with the Lakers and Warriors game.
A lot of love, real quick, Bobon. A lot of love for the over in this game. I would probably look more team total over for the Warriors if you want to play over. I don't see the offense from the Lakers. I mean, I know we talked about Reeves. You talk about. I mean, come on, man. For 48 minutes, these motherfuckers aren't going to be able to score consistently, in my opinion.
But they'll score whatever they want on the Lakers, the Warriors, no doubt about that. We know
they'll set their number.
Yeah, this defense just stinks. There's no effort. There's no rebounding on the glass. There's no defensive presence whatsoever. In fact, I'd rather at this point, instead of minus 14, I'd rather just bet over 116.5, the team total for Golden State right now with where that is.
Same.
Yeah.
I think that's the best bet in this game is taking the Warriors team total over, like Dutch said.
I like it. I agree with that fully. All right, great stuff with Billy Briz. Good to have him back. Dutch as well. Thursday card. Hit the like button on the way out. We appreciate it. We got best bets. We got Dutch's freshest look coming up. Southtown 101, when you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. We had a great time down there a week ago. You will as well. Southtown 101, Manscaped promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase. Lawnmower 4.0 or any Manscaped product, 20% off with promo code PubSports. MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. We got Masters Golf, NBA and NHL playoffs on the horizon. We've got, of course, MLB season starting today. UFC still going throughout the month of April and beyond. So sign up for an account, mybookie.ag. USFL as well next week kicks off. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit as well. Mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. All right, best bets, Dutch's freshest look to wrap it up. Billy Briz, we'll start with you. What do you like here for best bet tonight?
You already know, best bet, we're going to stick down in San Antonio, and we're going to take over 7.5 assists tonight for Tre Jones and bet his double-double prop at plus 270. He hit it on Tuesday. Now it's Thirsty Thursday. Let's go, Tre.
There it is for Billy Briz, best bet there for the Thursday slate going to the Spurs game there with that. Tre Jones, a point guard, to get it done here tonight for his best bet. Dutch, freshest look.
Yeah, man. Freshest look. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I got 2 bets and I got 1 unit on each of them, and I'm probably gonna lock in this 116.5 on team total on the Warriors. They have hit that the last 3 times versus the Lakers. But yeah, man, we got the motherfucker. There is 8 available for the San Antonio Spurs. There is an 8 available, so we'll lock that in. Plus 8 versus Minnesota, and then obviously there's a 13.5 available still out there on the Golden State Warriors. We will lock that in. So the 2-piece, and I'll probably lock in that team total as well. Let's eat, man. Let's fucking eat.
All right, good stuff there. Freshest look for Dutch. My best bet. Let's do Orlando Charlotte over 230.5. I like that total. I don't like either defense. I think you get a lot of points both ways throughout this game. Magic Hornets will go over 230.5. 2 teams way out of the playoffs, playing for exercise, and usually that means very little defense. So Magic Hornets over 230.5 for my best bet on this Thursday card. And that'll wrap up this edition of the NBA Pub Hub. 237 live viewers. Hit the like button. We appreciate it. Of course, we'll be back. Tomorrow is our final NBA Pub Hub show of the regular season. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And then when we were back on Tuesday with the play-in tournament. Looking forward to that. Games that count. Or not that these games count too, but games where both teams are into it. Both teams want them. It's going to be nice and refreshing to have that starting next week on the NBA Pub Hub. Great stuff. Check me out with Jose Bouquet at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. I'll be on the Say Hey Plays show, MLB, later on in a half an hour, so tune in for that. For Dutch Boy Fresh, for Billy Briz, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Thursday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll see you again tomorrow on Friday for the NBA Pub Hub, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, right here on Pub Sports Radio.
Let's get this
Dutch,
money, baby. Let's go.
Yes, indeed. Let's get it. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. Hey, there you go, Elliot.
There it is.
There you go. We see you. Big Show sees you, my guy. Yeah, man. Hey, you know where it's at. Pub Sports Radio. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Yo, salute to the real ones. Y'all stay fresh. Stay blessed. Let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.